York County commissioners will decide on a mask mandate. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has said he won't do a statewide mandate, but many of our local cities and towns are approving their own version. South Carolina Bureau reporter Greg Suskin breaks down the mandate.
Here in Rock Hill, you've got to wear a mask going into just about any business in town. It's the same in Fort Mill, but this could possibly go countywide tonight as the York County Council is scheduled to talk about an ordinance mandating masks countywide. It's similar to what Fort Mill and Rock Hill are doing. Children under 10 don't have to wear them. You don't have to wear it if you have a medical condition, but it mandates masks in most businesses, imposes a $25 fine if you don't wear one. Now, if this goes into effect, or if this is passed rather, it will go into effect on Wednesday. If this measure does not pass, there's also a simple resolution on the agenda tonight that wouldn't mandate masks, but would strongly encourage the wearing of masks as well. And also the city of York, which has taken up this issue a couple weeks ago, but has not yet passed a mask mandate, takes a second vote on this tonight, which could make that mandated for the town of York as well. We'll let you know what happens. Back to you.
A lot of people will be waiting to see. Thanks a lot for that report. Well, new at noon. In the last 90 minutes, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster announced a new program to help students in grades 5 through 12 attend independent schools. The Safe Grants program provides up to $6,500 to help students attend those schools. Well, the state is using $32 million in emergency education relief funds, also known as GEAR funds. Eligibility is based on income. The first 2,500 grants will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. Well, in 3 hours, another local school district will lay out its plan for reopening schools. Just like CMS, Gaston County Schools is looking at 3 options with the hopes of some social distance learning. Let's turn now to Gaston County Bureau reporter Ken Lemon, who joins us live now. And Ken, a big decision for school board members today.
A very big decision for them, and the last time they met to review their plans was before the governor said that all schools should use that hybrid plan, which is less than 50% of students going back on day one. In Gaston County, we're talking about just a little less than a month now before schools reopen, and the plan that they decide will have to work for all 31,000 students currently enrolled in school in Gaston County. As many as 16,000 rely on school buses. Now, based on the conversation they had during their last virtual meeting, a hybrid plan would greatly help if they have to use social distancing and busing and also social distancing in classrooms. Even before COVID, though, Gaston County started experimenting with distance learning, but they only had about 100 students using that program by the end of last year. Now they think they have a plan that will work using 2 platforms, one for younger students, another for older students. The plan is to start training teachers on those platforms next month and then have them ready by the start of school. They also have a training process in place for parents to Parents will have to go through that process and use that distance learning, and how this thing is going to be activated. Another question also brought up just a little while ago is all of this now sits around the backdrop of Gaston County, where they're seeing those COVID numbers grow and grow. We'll be in that meeting later on today and have the latest for you starting at 5 o'clock, Damani.
All right, Ken Lemon, thank you so much for that report. We'll be waiting to hear what they decide. Well, we know there is a lot to process with going back to school. So we have a county-by-county coverage of district plans on the WSOC TV app. Well, some families could really use another stimulus check as they wait to find a job again. Negotiations for the second stimulus plan are set to pick up today. That's according to White House Chief of Staff and former local Congressman Mark Meadows. Meadows says the Trump administration wants the plan to include protections for workers and employers. Republicans want the plan to include a second round of stimulus checks. It's not clear yet on how much those would be or who would get them. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has suggested the checks should only go to Americans who make less than $40,000 a year. Their plan could also include financial help for local and state governments and a drop in unemployment benefits. Now, right now, there's an extra $600 a week, but that could drop to $400. Senate Republicans are targeting the proposal at $1.3 trillion. It would need support from both parties. Meanwhile, House Democrats proposed their own stimulus called the HEROES Act. It looks to give everyone stimulus checks up to $1,200 a person or $6,000 for a family. It would also give money to state and local governments. It also looks to help small businesses and nonprofits like the first round of stimulus money did. Well, renters are heading back to court today to fight to stay in their homes for the first time since the start of the pandemic. Mecklenburg County judges will hear eviction cases, but the courts are giving people who couldn't pay rent during the crisis a little more time and some extra help. Reporter Anthony Costura says they're breaking down the caseload into before pandemic and during the pandemic.
It could take several weeks to sort through the first round of eviction cases from before the pandemic. Of course, we're talking about nearly 4 months of backlog cases. But the good news, renters may have a little bit of extra time to catch up on their rent. Here's how it all breaks down. If your landlord has a federally backed mortgage like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac and wants to evict you for not paying rent, they have to wait until July 27th, and then they're required to give you 30 days notice. If you don't know what kind of loan they have, the landlord will have to provide that information to the judge before they try to evict you. If you owed rent between May 30th and June 20th, your landlord has to give you at least 6 months to pay it. That's all according to Governor Cooper's executive order. Local organizations are also stepping in to help people pay for rent who can't afford it. In total, there's more than $6 million from organizations like Crisis Assistance Ministry, as well as Charlotte Housing Partnership. The goal is to keep people in their homes while also reducing the number of cases that actually head to court. Back to you.
All right, Anthony, thank you. Well, Channel 9 is committed to addressing our city's affordable housing problems. Now, right now, we're partnering with Crisis Assistance Ministry to help the hundreds of families in our community at risk of eviction or having their utilities disconnected. Now, take a good look here. It's right on your screen. We've set up a special site, 9crisishelp.com, where you can donate, and so far you've helped us raise more than $33,000. Crisis Assistance will use every dollar to help a family here in our area. Again, it's 9crisishelp.com.